Normally I would be filling in the purpose field while I'm dropping the lanterns into Vectorworks as I go along, mainly so I don't forget why I've put a lantern where I've put it. But for this exercise I haven't done that, so we're going to use Lightwright now to fill in the purpose fields, because if you're not doing it as you go along, then Lightwright is much quicker than clicking on every individual lantern in Vectorworks. So we're going to start with our general cover up there. The first one is the general downstage right, and then I'll just click on this one, brush it in, and then I've got my general downstage center, and the same again, brush it in, and then I've got my general downstage left, and again brush it in. Now we're moving on to the upstage, so I've got upstage right. Now that I've done all of my warm general, I'm going to have this all repeated in my cold general. So I can shift and copy and paste this into this section in the same way as you would copy and paste anything in a Excel spreadsheet. So that should now cover that. Excellent. So next we have our backlight. And there we start, I believe, downstage right as well. Again, we can repeat this process that we've just done for all of the cold and pop it into the warm. Okay, next we have our high sides, so I'm just going to call them cross, and here we only have a cross downstage right and another cross downstage right, and then we have cross downstage left, cross downstage left. There we are. Going back into Vectorworks now, you can see that once it has refreshed itself, if we click on an individual unit, we see it here in the purpose field. So again, using it in a spreadsheet view can speed this process up massively. The benefit of naming these fields in a consistent way with particular phrases is in how you can then search for things in Lightwright. So for example, I've called all of my purpose gen something for the general, and BL something for the backlight, and X something for the crosslight. That means if I later on want to just look for all of the blacklight, I can search for partial phrases and just search for the BL. So, for example, if I wanted to view all of my backlight, then I can either tick, but I can, I would have to tick all of the different backlights. And depending on how complex your drawing is, that could be quite a process. So what I can do instead is I can write BL in here and delete the automatic fill and press OK with just BL. And it will tell me it can't find it. But do you want to look for items containing this text? And I can press yes, and then it will list everything that has the BL in its purpose. So if you have gone through the naming in a consistent way using particular phrases for particular things, that can then allow you later on in Lightwright to search for these things very quickly. If you want to go back to all, because you can see here view purpose BL is now restricted to this only, so it doesn't see any of the other stuff. If I want to go back to everything, I'll just press all and I get my full list back.